Hey, I'm Brian Clark here in the manager's office with Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager. And over the first couple of weeks of the season, all the talk was about the injuries to your lineup. Now you're approaching full strength with your lineup. How do those returns influence what kind of team you put on the field each day?
First of all, we're excited as we slowly but surely get guys back. Obviously, we've made a new addition with Edwin coming in. And through this time, it's allowed us to find out a lot about some players that have obviously played important roles to this point, may continue to play important roles moving forward, but it's made us feel really good about the depth that we've acquired and that we've been able to maintain in this. But we're really excited to get, obviously, some key members back that are going to start to trickle in this week.
We know there's more talk than ever about the importance of numbers now in the game, but your job is still about managing people. So how do you go about situations and conversations with players who were key contributors in the first couple of weeks of the season, but now their roles are going to change somewhat?
Well, I mean, I think it's a slowly but surely thing, and baseball has a funny way of once you think you know how something's going to play out, or this guy's coming back so it affects this guy, it has a way of changing and throwing you a curveball. So myself, my coaches, we're always developing and pouring into the relationships that we have with our players, and that we're constantly putting them in the position to be the most successful they can be.
You mentioned Edwin Encarnacion. He's hit more home runs than anyone in baseball this decade. You've got Aaron Judge, you've got Giancarlo Stanton. How's this lineup going to shake out?
Stay tuned. Obviously, we feel strong about our lineup now. It's only going to get stronger. You know, we're going to have a very long, very deep lineup. We're going to have good players hitting in the 7, 8, 9 hole every single night. We feel like our bench has a chance to be a real strength for us as well. But looking forward to seeing that unfold, you know, depending on, you know, the matchup of a given night. And because we're getting these guys back and because it's going to make our bench hopefully that much stronger, it should allow us to keep guys fresh by, you know, the occasional day off, because the guys we're plugging in are really good players.
Looking at your pitching staff, what signs have you seen recently that are encouraging from that group?
First off, James Paxton coming off a really strong start in Chicago. We feel like that's something that he's going to continue to build upon and be that guy that we traded for. Massa gets talked about a lot, but on balance has had a really good year for us. He's been really consistent. We feel like Jay Happ, the last few starts, is throwing the ball a lot better. But if you look at his body of work over the last 3-4 starts, we really feel like he's starting to tick up. We're going to get Domingo Herman back here and not too much longer. We feel like we dodged a bullet from an injury standpoint in that it's nothing too serious. You know, CC is still very capable of going out and giving us quality outings. So we feel good about where we're at. Obviously, it's something that we're going to continue to monitor and watch, and Sevy's starting to gain traction, and he becomes an option at some point. So it's a much talked about area of our club, obviously, but something that we feel like we're capable of getting the job done.
And when you've had to use an opener this season, it's worked out pretty well. What makes Chad Green so well suited to be that guy?
He's got great stuff, and in that role, when we've been able to give him, you know, a couple days off, really since he came back from AAA, where he worked on some things mechanically that I think have really taken hold with him, and we're seeing the ball come out a lot more like the Chad Green that we saw in 2017. And for a lot of last year, I mean, the ball is coming out really well. He was dominant in his last start, I guess you'd say, in Chicago, where he struck out 6 batters in 2 innings with an electric fastball, a better secondary pitch. And, you know, when he has a day or 2 of rest, we feel like that's a role that he can, you know, not only succeed in, but potentially dominate in.
We're sitting here just about the official start of the summer. All indications are this is going to be a 3-team race in the division. What makes you feel confident about your team in that race?
I feel confident in our guys. Look, we got a long way to go for this thing to unfold, and try not to get ahead of ourselves ever, because there's so much to tackle within the course of the day. But we feel like we've put ourselves in a position at this point to have a special season, but that's it. That's the good news, is that we're right there, but we got to go out and perform at a really consistent level. Feel like we have the guys to do it, but now we got to go do it.